Okay, so you're thinking about starting a business, something that really speaks to women, right?
Hmm. Sounds exciting.
And you're probably looking for ideas that won't break the bank, right?
Yeah, who isn't these days?
Well, we found this YouTube video, and I think you're going to love this. It's called 10 Small Business Ideas. You can start under $100 as a woman, make money from home.
Under $100. Okay, I'm listening.
Yeah. And from home, so super convenient. Now, I'm not going to lie, some of the ideas are a little out there.
Like what?
Just wait, you'll see.
Yeah.
But I think that's part of the fun, right? Exploring all the possibilities.
Absolutely. That's what makes this whole thing so interesting, is that low barrier to entry that's really appealing.
Mm.
For women who might be juggling a lot already.
Family, other jobs, all of that.
Right, exactly. Or maybe they're just starting out and don't have a ton of cash to throw around.
Yeah, totally. And this video, they don't hold back on the big promises either.
Oh, really?
There's this one idea, it claims you could make $900 a day as a natural hair consultant.
$900 a day. Wow.
I know, right? Now, I'm not sure I'd bet my rent money on reaching that figure right away.
Yeah, a healthy dose of skepticism is always a good thing.
But still, it gets you thinking, right?
It definitely sparks the imagination.
Yeah.
Even if the reality is a little different, it's that possibility that can really get someone motivated.
So true. Okay, let's jump into some of these ideas. One that really caught my eye was selling t-shirts. But not just any t-shirts. These have messages specifically for empowering young girls, particularly girls of color.
I love that.
Yeah, I could see that resonating with a lot of people.
It's such a great example of niching down, even in a crowded market, like t-shirts.
You're not trying to be everything to everyone.
Right. It's about understanding a specific need and then creating something that perfectly meets that need.
Okay, this next one is called retail arbitrage. Have you heard of this?
I have. It's
Yeah.
like treasure hunting, but for profit.
It is. You find a product somewhere cheap and then sell it for more on a different platform.
Like finding something awesome at Walmart for $10 and selling it on Amazon for $40.
Exactly.
Of course, there's a bit more to it than just spotting a price difference.
Right, like what kind of stuff do you even look for?
Well, you have to consider competition, fees, shipping. It all adds up.
So it's not as easy as it sounds?
Maybe not easy, but it's definitely a skill you can learn. For
Right.
someone comfortable with online marketplaces, it can be a really cool opportunity.
Okay, I'm adding retail arbitrage to my list of things to research.
Oh,
And this one I thought was interesting, wedding planner books. Apparently, they're considered low-content products.
low content.
Yeah, but they can have really high profit margins.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
Me neither.
It's fascinating how sometimes the simplest solutions can be so profitable. It's not always about creating something complex or groundbreaking.
It's about finding a need and filling it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
In this case, it's brides needing help staying organized, and boom, the wedding planner appears.
And I bet people are more willing to spend money on something like that when they're planning a wedding. They're already spending so much on everything else.
Well, absolutely. It's all about that willingness to invest in things that make their lives easier during a stressful time.
Okay, here's one that felt personally relevant to me. Postpartum fitness coaching.
I can see why that would resonate.
It just seems like there are so many women out there who could relate to that journey.
It's part of a bigger trend, I think, of turning personal skills and experiences into businesses.
Like turning your own challenges into a way to help others.
Exactly. And potentially making a living from it.
It's not just about traditional business skills anymore.
Right. Maybe you're amazing at organizing, or you're a whiz at teaching kids to code.
Or you've finally conquered the clutter in your home.
All of those things could be valuable to someone else.
It's like recognizing that your own journey has value.
Absolutely. It's empowering to realize that what you know and what you've been through matters.
Okay, this next one really made me think about the power of community. The video featured Miley Teal, who started this successful subscription box business called Curlbox. But then, get this, she launched a whole community platform called MyLeak just for Black mothers.
Wow, that's amazing.
I know. It shows how community can be a business model and a way to connect with your audience.
It's about creating that sense of belonging, shared experience, support, something that's so valuable these days.
And it goes beyond just the product or service you offer. It's about the relationships you build.
What's interesting is that the video creator herself emphasizes community building through her YouTube channel.
She's walking the walk.
Right, encouraging viewers to connect with each other, build each other up. It's like she's practicing what she preaches, creating that supportive environment for aspiring women entrepreneurs.
So inspiring. Okay, we've covered a lot of ground here. T-shirts, retail arbitrage, postpartum fitness, community building. But what does it all mean? What's the takeaway for our listeners?
I think the biggest takeaway is that even though these ideas are all different, they share a common thread. They're about making entrepreneurship feel doable, no matter where you're starting from.
They challenge those old school ideas of what a business has to be.
They encourage you to think outside the box, embrace your uniqueness.
Create something that really reflects your passions and experiences.
It's about that shift in perspective, realizing that entrepreneurship isn't just for a select few.
It's about taking control of your financial future, building something that aligns with your values.
And that is incredibly empowering.
Okay, I gotta mention this. The video ends on a super motivational note, almost like a religious vibe.
Oh.
Yeah. It caught me off guard, but I appreciated the sincerity.
I think it was meant as a genuine call to action, encouraging women to step into their power.
I can see that.
Yeah.
But beyond the specific ideas in this video, what are some key principles that listeners should really take away?
It all starts with identifying a need and then creating a solution. Look around. Ask yourself, what problems are people facing? What's missing? How can I offer something that makes people's lives better?
Like that natural hair consultant, she saw a need within her community and stepped up to fill it.
Exactly. Be observant. Pay attention to what people are struggling with, and then offer a solution that resonates.
Okay, so identifying needs is key. What else?
Leverage existing platforms. Think Amazon, Etsy, social media, even your own website.
So many tools out there to help you reach your audience.
It's like having a built-in megaphone for your business.
Love that. And the third takeaway, we already touched on it, the power of community.
This can be huge for connecting with your audience, building loyalty, even generating revenue.
Think of it as creating a tribe around your brand, a group of people who believe in what you're doing.
Like that My League community, it's about more than just selling a product. It's about fostering connection and support.
Okay, this is all super insightful, but what about the listener who's feeling a little overwhelmed right now?
That's understandable. There's a lot to process. The key is to focus on what speaks to you.
What gets you excited? What problems do you care about solving?
What skills and experiences do you bring to the table?
It's about finding that sweet spot where your passions and talents meet a real need in the world.
Don't try to copy someone else's success. Use these ideas as inspiration to forge your own path.
There's no one-size-fits-all approach to entrepreneurship.
It's about finding what works for you and building a business that fits your values, your goals, your lifestyle.
Find your entrepreneurial groove.
Exactly. And that might involve some experimenting, some trial and error.
Don't be afraid to try different things, learn from mistakes, adjust as you go.
It's all part of the journey.
So it's not just about the destination.
It's about enjoying the process of building something you're truly proud of.
I love that perspective. It's about finding your own entrepreneurial adventure.
And remember, you don't have to do it alone.
The video highlighted the importance of community and support.
We're here for you too.
Cheering you on every step of the way.
Speaking of support, the video mentioned some helpful resources.
Oh yeah, like Skillshare, they have classes on everything.
From starting an Etsy shop to editing videos, which is actually how we make this podcast.
Wait, really?
Yep. The video creator even offered a special discount for viewers.
That's awesome.
So if you're looking to level up your skills, that could be a great place to start.
Knowledge is power, right? Investing in your education can pay off big time.
It's like that saying, give a woman the tools to launch a business, and she can create a future she's proud of.
I like that version much better.
But keep in mind, not all online courses are created equal.
Good point. How can our listeners tell the good ones from the bad?
Look for courses taught by people who have actually done it themselves.
Experienced professionals who have a proven track record.
Like that Tiffany Emery person mentioned in the video, she runs a $1 million Etsy store.
Wow.
Find instructors who have been there, done that, and can offer real-world advice.
And don't be afraid to read reviews, compare options, make sure the course aligns with your goals.
It's an investment in yourself, so choose wisely.
Okay, let's circle back to one of the key themes, accessible entrepreneurship.
This video really emphasized that you don't need a ton of money to get started.
Most of these ideas could be launched for under $100, which is incredible.
But let's be real, building a business takes work, no matter the startup costs.
It's not always going to be easy, but it can be so rewarding.
It's about finding that balance, setting realistic goals, and celebrating those wins along the way.
Enjoying the journey, not just focusing on the end goal.
Exactly. And remember, you don't have to do it all alone.
There are resources available to support women entrepreneurs.
Online communities, mentorship programs, local business organizations. Don't be afraid to reach out for help.
Building a business can be challenging, but having a support system can make all the difference.
And, it's important to remember that entrepreneurship isn't always about launching the next big thing.
It's not always about disrupting industries or becoming the next unicorn startup,
Sometimes it's about those smaller, niche ideas that might not make headlines.
but are quietly solving problems for real people.
And those solutions can be incredibly valuable, both for your customers and for you as an entrepreneur.
Like that handwritten name card example, it's not going to change the world.
But for someone planning a wedding or a special event, those little details can make a big difference.
It's all about finding those pockets of opportunity and making them your own.
And that often comes from paying attention to what people are already talking about.
What are their pain points? What are they searching for online? What are they willing to spend money on?
It's like being a detective, uncovering those unmet needs and then swooping in with a solution.
And sometimes the best solutions are the simplest ones.
You don't always have to reinvent the wheel.
It's about finding a better way to spin it.
I love that analogy. It's about taking something that already exists and making it more efficient, more accessible, more appealing to a specific audience.
Which brings us back to niching down, like with the t-shirt example.
Instead of trying to compete with the giants, focus on a specific niche, like empowering messages for young girls of color.
Find your tribe, create something that truly resonates with them,
It's a powerful way to stand out in a crowded marketplace.
and build a brand that people trust and identify with.
Speaking of branding, that's something the video didn't go into much depth about.
It's so much more than just a logo.
It's about the overall experience you create for your customers.
The values you embody, the way you communicate, the emotions you evoke.
It's about making a lasting impression that makes people want to come back for more.
And that takes time and effort to cultivate.
You have to be intentional with every touch point, from your website to your social media to your packaging.
Create a cohesive and consistent brand identity that reflects your unique value proposition.
And that can be a huge differentiator, especially as more businesses move online.
When everything is digital, it's hard to stand out.
So think about your brand strategy from the very beginning.
Ask yourself, who is my target audience? What do they care about? What message do I want to convey?
How can I create a brand experience that truly resonates with them?
Because a strong brand can be your most valuable asset.
Can attract customers, build loyalty, and let you charge a premium price.
And that's something every entrepreneur should strive for.
Okay, let's switch gears for a moment and talk about something often overlooked.
Okay, what's that?
Self-care.
Ah, yes. Taking care of yourself amidst the chaos of entrepreneurship.
It's so easy to get caught up in the to-do list and forget about your own well-being.
Building a business can be incredibly demanding, long hours, tough decisions.
If you're not careful, it can lead to burnout.
And that's the last thing you want when you're trying to pour your heart and soul into something new.
So prioritize your physical, mental, and emotional health.
Make time for things you enjoy, whether it's spending time with loved ones, pursuing a hobby, or simply getting enough sleep.
Put on your own oxygen mask first before helping others.
Because when you're feeling your best, you're better equipped to handle the ups and downs of entrepreneurship.
You'll make sounder decisions and create a business that's both successful and sustainable.
So don't neglect self-care. It's not selfish. It's essential.
It's an investment in yourself so you can show up fully for your business and your customers.
Okay, what about mindset? I feel like that's huge.
It is. It's about believing in yourself, especially when things get tough.
And let's be real, entrepreneurship is full of challenges, setbacks, moments of doubt.
It's about how you respond to those challenges that determines your success.
Having a growth mindset, seeing failures as learning opportunities, always striving to improve.
And surround yourself with people who believe in you.
Having a strong support system, whether it's a mentor, a coach, or fellow entrepreneurs, is crucial.
They can offer encouragement, brainstorm solutions, and celebrate your wins.
It makes the journey a lot more fun.
And that's what it's all about, right? Entrepreneurship should be about creating a life you love.
Having the freedom to pursue your passions, set your own schedule, build something that aligns with your values.
It's not always easy, but the rewards can be incredible.
So if you're feeling that entrepreneurial spark, don't let fear hold you back.
Take that leap of faith, trust your instincts. Never stop believing in yourself.
You never know where that leap might take you.
Speaking of leaps of faith, let's come back to that idea of accessibility.
The idea that you don't need a ton of money or resources to get started.
Especially relevant for women who often face unique challenges.
Access to funding, societal expectations, lack of representation, these are real hurdles.
But women are starting businesses at a record pace, defying the odds and showing the world what they're capable of.
That's so inspiring.
If you're a woman with a dream, don't let anything hold you back.
There are resources out there, mentorship programs, funding opportunities, online communities.
A whole network of women entrepreneurs ready to cheer you on.
Tap into that network, seek out mentors, surround yourself with people who believe in your vision.
Together, we can create a more equitable and inclusive entrepreneurial ecosystem.
Now, before we move on, one more theme that stood out from the video.
I'm all ears.
The importance of action. It's not enough to just have ideas, you got to act on them.
A plan without action is just a dream.
So true. While planning and research are important, sometimes you just have to take that first step.
Don't let perfectionism or fear paralyze you.
The best way to learn is by doing.
The more you act, the more confident you become.
So if you're feeling inspired, don't wait.
Take action now, even a small step.
Because momentum builds on itself.
And that one small step could lead you to something extraordinary. You know, all this talk about action and momentum reminds me, we've talked about supporting women entrepreneurs. But how can we actually do that?
That's a great question. It's one thing to talk about it, but how do we put it into practice?
Well, the video mentioned investing in women-owned businesses.
Oh, yeah. It seems so simple, but it can make a big difference.
Every time we buy from a woman-owned business, we're not just making a purchase, we're making a statement.
It's like voting with our dollars.
Exactly. And it doesn't have to be a huge investment.
It could be buying your coffee from a woman-owned cafe or ordering a cake from a woman baker.
Or checking out that new boutique owned by a woman entrepreneur.
And with the holidays coming up, it's the perfect time to be mindful of where we spend our money.
Imagine the impact we could have if we all made an effort to support women-owned businesses during the holiday season.
It could be a game changer for so many women.
And beyond spending money, we can share their stories on social media, leave positive reviews.
Word of mouth is so powerful, especially for small businesses.
And we can all do that, no matter our budget or social media following.
We can also be mentors, offer guidance, share our experiences.
Mentorship can be invaluable, especially for women just starting out.
It's about paying it forward, helping lift up the next generation of women leaders.
And it creates a cycle of empowerment.
Okay, so much good stuff today. Niching down, branding, self-care, action, supporting women-owned businesses. But one thing keeps coming back to me, like passion.
I know exactly what you mean.
It's like the fuel for entrepreneurship.
It keeps you going when things get tough, inspires you to push through challenges, makes the journey worthwhile.
When you're passionate about what you do, it shows.
It's contagious.
Yeah.
Your customers feel it, your team feels it. It creates a ripple effect of positivity.
It's like that spark that ignites something bigger than yourself.
As you're exploring these ideas, tap into what you're truly passionate about.
What gets you excited? What makes your heart sing? What problems do you want to solve?
Because when you align your work with your passion, it stops feeling like work.
It becomes an extension of who you are.
And that's where the magic happens.
Speaking of magic and passion and creating a business that lights you up, I can't help but think about.
You know, sometimes the most impactful business ideas aren't those huge, disruptive ones.
It's not always about becoming the next big tech company or changing the whole world.
Right. Sometimes it's those smaller, more niche ideas that really make a difference.
The ones that fly under the radar but are quietly solving problems for people.
Exactly. And those can be super valuable, both for the people you're serving and for you as an entrepreneur.
Like in the video, remember that woman making the beautiful handwritten name cards?
Oh, yeah.
It's not a flashy startup or anything.
But for someone planning a wedding or a special event, those personalized details, they can really elevate the whole experience.
And for the calligrapher, it's a way to use their skills to earn an income.
Exactly. It's realizing that there's value at all levels, not just those big splashy ventures.
It's about finding those hidden pockets of opportunity and really making them your own.
And those opportunities are often right in front of us, you know.
Yeah.
It's about paying attention to what people are already talking about.
What are they frustrated with? What are they searching for online? What are they willing to pay for to make their lives better?
It's like being a detective, but for everyday problems.
I like that. And then you come up with creative solutions.
And you know what? Sometimes the simplest solutions are the best ones.
You don't always have to reinvent the wheel, right?
Exactly.
It's about finding a new way to spin it.
Huh? I love that. Take something that already exists and make it better, more efficient, more accessible.
Make it appeal to a specific group of people.
Which brings us right back to niching down,
Yeah.
something that video really highlighted with the t-shirt example.
Instead of trying to compete with those giant t-shirt companies,
Find a niche, like those empowering t-shirts for young girls of color.
it's a smart strategy because you're not trying to be everything to everyone.
Exactly. You're focusing on a specific group, becoming their go-to source for something they really connect with.
And that can be so powerful in a world that's overflowing with choices.
It's how you cut through the noise and make a real impact.
You know, one thing that video didn't go into much detail on, but I think is super important, is branding.
Oh, absolutely. It's
Mhm.
way more than just a logo or a catchy tagline.
It's that overall feeling people have when they interact with your business.
It's the values you represent, how you communicate, the emotions you evoke.
It's about creating an experience people remember that makes them want to come back for more.
And that's not something you build overnight.
It takes time, effort, intentionality.
You have to think about every interaction, from your website and social media to the way you package your products.
It's about consistency, creating a brand identity that reflects your unique value.
And that can be a huge advantage these days, especially with so many businesses moving online.
It's hard to stand out when everything is digital.
So start thinking about your brand strategy early on, even before you launch.
Ask yourself, who are you trying to reach? What do they care about? What message do you want to convey?
How can you create an experience that truly resonates with them?
A strong brand is a powerful asset.
It can help you attract customers, build loyalty, and charge a premium for what you offer.
So no matter what you're selling, a strong brand is something to aim for.
You know, in the midst of all this talk about strategy and branding, there's one thing we can't forget.
Oh, what's that?
Self-care.
Oh my gosh, yes. It's so easy to get caught up in building a business and forget to take care of ourselves.
Building a business is demanding. Long hours, tough decisions. It can be a lot.
And if you're not careful, it can lead to burnout.
Exactly. Which is why it's so important to make time for things that recharge you, both physically and mentally.
Spend time with loved ones, do something you enjoy, or just get a good night's sleep.
Remember, put on your own oxygen mask first before helping others.
Mm-hmm.
You can't pour from an empty cup.
It's not selfish, it's essential. You have to take care of yourself to show up fully for your business.
Or your customers, too. Now, speaking of things that are crucial, let's talk about mindset.
Oh, mindset is huge, especially in entrepreneurship.
It's about believing in yourself, especially when things get tough, because they will.
There will be ups and downs, setbacks, times when you question everything.
But it's how you handle those challenges that makes all the difference.
It's having that growth mindset, seeing failures as opportunities to learn and improve.
And surround yourself with people who believe in you, those who cheer you on.
A supportive network, mentors, coaches, other entrepreneurs, it can be a game changer.
They can offer encouragement, help you brainstorm solutions, and celebrate your wins.
Entrepreneurship is definitely more fun when you're not doing it alone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that brings us to something that hasn't been explicitly said, but I think is a key takeaway.
Yeah.
Entrepreneurship should be about creating a life you love.
It's about freedom. The freedom to pursue your passions, set your own schedule, build something that aligns with your values.
It's not always easy, but the rewards can be incredible.
So if you're feeling that entrepreneurial pull, don't let fear stop you.
Take that leap of faith, trust your gut, believe in yourself.
You never know where it might lead you.
Speaking of leaps of faith, let's come back to that idea of accessibility, that you don't need a ton of money to get started.
It's especially relevant for women who often face more hurdles when starting businesses.
Access to funding, societal expectations, lack of representation in certain industries, it's a lot.
But women are out there starting businesses in record numbers, proving that they can be incredibly successful.
So inspiring to see.
If you're a woman with a dream, don't let anything hold you back.
There's support out there. Mentorship programs, funding opportunities, online communities, and a whole sisterhood of women entrepreneurs ready to help.
Find those resources, connect with mentors, build your network.
Together, we can create a more equitable and inclusive space for everyone.
Before we wrap up, one more theme from the video that stood out.
Okay, I'm listening.
The importance of action. It's not enough to just have ideas.
Right, you have to act on them.
A plan without action is just a daydream.
So true. Planning and research are important, but sometimes you just have to dive in and start doing.
Don't let perfectionism or fear get in your way.
The best way to learn is by doing.
And the more action you take, the more confident you become. So if any of these ideas are speaking to you, don't wait for the perfect moment.
Start now, even if it's a small step.
Because momentum builds on itself.
You never know where that small step might lead. This whole conversation about action and momentum makes me think, we've talked about supporting women entrepreneurs, but how do we actually do that?
That's a great point. It's one thing to say it, but how do we put it into practice?
The video mentioned investing in women-owned businesses.
Right. That's something we can all do.
It's a simple but powerful way to show our support.
It's like voting with our dollars.
Exactly. It doesn't have to be a huge investment either.
Buy your coffee from a woman-owned shop, get a cake from a woman baker, check out that new boutique run by a woman entrepreneur.
And with the holidays coming up, it's a perfect time to be more intentional with our spending.
I love that.
Imagine the impact we could have if we all made a conscious effort to support women-owned businesses during the holiday season.
It could be huge for so many entrepreneurs.
And it's not just about spending money either.
There are other ways we can show support, right?
Absolutely. Share their stories on social media, leave positive reviews, recommend them to friends and family.
Word of mouth is so powerful, especially for small businesses.
And we can all do that no matter how big or small our following is.
We can also be mentors, offer advice, share our experiences.
Mentorship can be invaluable, especially for women just starting out.
It's about paying it forward, right? Helping the next generation of women leaders.
And it creates this amazing cycle of empowerment.
So we've talked about a lot today. Niching down, branding, self-care, action, supporting women-owned businesses. But the thing that keeps coming back to me is passion.
Ah, yes. Passion is everything.
It's the driving force behind entrepreneurship.
It keeps you motivated when things get tough, inspires you to overcome challenges, makes it all feel worthwhile.
When you're passionate about what you do, it shines through.
And it's contagious. Your customers, your team, everyone feels it.
It's like the spark that creates something bigger than yourself.
So as you're exploring these business ideas, really think about what you're passionate about.
What lights you up? What gets you excited? What problems are you driven to solve?
Because when you align your work with your passion, it stops feeling like work.
It becomes an extension of who you are.
And that's where the magic happens.
Speaking of magic and passion and building a business that really lights you up, I can't help but think about
That creative spark. We've talked a lot about the practical side of things.
the strategies, the planning, the logistics.
Right, all that's important. But sometimes you need to infuse a little creativity to make a business truly special.
You're so right. It's like that extra something that helps you stand out.
And it doesn't have to be anything huge or complicated.
It's about finding those little ways to let your personality shine through.
Think about how you present your products, the tone of your writing on your website, the way you connect with people on social media.
All those little touches, they add up.
They create a brand experience that's memorable and cohesive.
Like adding those finishing touches to a painting.
Exactly. And that's something that every entrepreneur, no matter what they do, can tap into.
So don't be afraid to get creative, experiment a little.
Embrace what makes you unique. Have fun with it.
Because when you're having fun and bringing that creative energy, it shows.
It's contagious. Your customers feel it. Your team feels it. It just makes the whole journey more enjoyable.
Okay, as we wrap up this deep dive, what are some final pieces of advice we can leave our listeners with?
For anyone who's feeling inspired but maybe a little overwhelmed,
It's a lot to take in.
remember, you don't have to do everything at once.
Start small, break it down into manageable steps.
Focus on one thing at a time. Celebrate those wins along the way.
And don't be afraid to experiment, to change course if something isn't working.
Entrepreneurship is a journey, and it's rarely a straight line to success.
There will be bumps in the road.
But that's part of what makes it so exciting.
And remember, you're not alone in this.
There's a whole community of support out there.
Connect with other women entrepreneurs, find mentors, join groups.
There are people who want to see you succeed.
And most importantly, believe in yourself. Believe in your ability to create something amazing.
Because you absolutely can.
So go out there and make it happen.
We're so excited to see what you create.
And that wraps up our deep dive into small business ideas for women. We hope you found it inspiring and empowering.
No matter where you are in your journey, just starting out or you've been at it for a while.
We're here to support you every step of the way.
So keep dreaming big, keep taking action, keep that passion alive.
Until next time, happy entrepreneuring.